What is his legacy, in your opinion? What is the legacy? What should we stress?
Well, obviously, we do not need to talk about his philanthropy, his successes, his generosity. Everybody knows about it. I think that his main legacy is to have come and helped the Armenian diaspora, especially to start with, to come out of the destitute life that they used to have. And I remember he used always to tell me how, upon the return of his first trip to the Middle East after he was elected president, he had gone incognito just to find what was going on in 1953. And upon his return, his wife asked him, he said, how did you find our people there? He said, well, I realize now that they have overcome somehow the effect of the genocide. They are not anymore bare feet. They are now standing on their feet. They have the schools, and now they are building new lives. And it is time for us to try to secure physical facilities for this community to identify itself by building community centers and the physical presence in each community. And I think that one of his legacy is that practically during his lifetime he made sure that in every vibrant Armenian community there is an each of these various community centers, and now they are serving the community at large. So this is part of his legacy.
Let me just, I'm sure you would agree, each generation has its challenges. We think today we have the most serious challenges. You kind of beautifully presented Alex Manoogian's generation. You are now at the helm of the AGBU as the president of AGBU, and you are, as an organization, celebrating very soon the 110th anniversary of the AGBU. What are the challenges today? Because I'm sure many people would also like to hear about the challenges we have today. Alex Manoogian's generation did their share. What are the challenges we have today?
Well, the challenges are too many.
I'm sure they are.
First of all, unfortunately, the last 30, 40 years have not been very bright years for the Armenians in general. We have, unfortunately, seen our Middle Eastern communities practically dismantled, starting in the early 50s with Egypt, and then Syria, and then Lebanon, and then Iran, and then Iraq, and then again Syria. Don't forget that out of 1.3 to 1.4 million Armenians that we had in that region from Iran to Greece, today they number to somewhere around 300,000. So the stronghold of the old diaspora is gone. In the meanwhile, we have the dream come true of the Alex Manoogian era, which is the independence of Armenia. But the independence of Armenia also brings many challenges too, because having a country is great. I mean, our forefathers realized that dream by having an independent Armenia. Now we have to realize our dream to be able to maintain and strengthen this country named Armenia. So our challenges are multifold. On one hand, in the diaspora, unfortunately, we have a large majority, let's say 70 or 80% of the Armenians who are getting more and more disconnected from their heritage. We have to do everything to try to bring them back, at least part of them, especially the second, third generation in countries like France, like the United States, and even like Russia. Russia today, which has the largest Armenian community with about 1.5 million, if not more, still they are also the majority, and the successful ones are getting disconnected. On the other hand, we have to make sure that Armenia becomes really an economically viable entity so that we can stop the immigration, which is a serious problem. And we have also the challenges facing the Armenian Church. The Armenian Church is one of the most important important institutions of our nation. Let's not forget, sometimes we talk about the 110th anniversary of AGBU, 25th anniversary of the independence of Armenia, but we forget that we have an institution which celebrates its 1,706 or 70th anniversary, and the visit of the Pope 2 weeks ago to Armenia was the biggest evidence of the importance of the role of the church. So we have to make sure that our clergy, the new generation of our clergy, gets the best education, the highest standards, so that they can meet the challenges of their calling by serving the communities around the world. So as you see, the challenges are multiple, and it's not anymore just the maintenance of our identity as such. It goes beyond that. We have to build a nation. We have to all contribute. It's high time that everybody works together to really contribute to the building of a nation. It's not anymore a Western diaspora, Eastern diaspora, Armenia, etc.
You know, we are extremely proud, and this is not the first time we say this on the air, of AGBU's accomplishments. And it's not what they have been able to achieve, but in the way they have been able to achieve, working together, joining hands across the community, and hoping to build a brighter future for all Armenians. Honestly, I was in London, as you very well know, at the AGBU meeting, and I saw firsthand the dynamism, the outreach projects of the AGBU, not only within communities, but within countries throughout the European countries. They have come from Ukraine, from Bulgaria, and Berge, let me just ask you the following: when you close your eyes and think of the AGBU, what do you see in the next years? I won't say 110 years, but in the next 10 years, what do you envision?
Well, obviously, I'm approaching the time where I'm thinking also about the legacy and what will come next. But I am very confident. It's good that you mentioned London. At the London meeting, if you notice, I was just sitting at the end of the room and just listening. And when I saw how this young generation of young leaders, whether from Marseille, from Lyon, from Paris, from Spain, from Holland, the dynamism and their conviction, and this generation, I give them the credit that they are Armenians by choice. People like me who came from the Middle East, to a certain extent, it's by heritage. We grew up in that atmosphere. But the third generation, which is growing in the cities like London or Paris or New York, they are committed to their heritage, because one thing that they realize, that being Armenian is something more than just being anybody else. And this is the heritage, the history. When you have the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church of 1.3, 1.5 billion people visiting Armenia, saying, I'm going to visit the first Christian nation, and when he says that being Armenian is a Christian identity, people wonder, even those who are disconnected, there is something that brings you back to think about who you are, especially in this society that we are living in, where unfortunately values and other human considerations are losing ground. You start still coming back to your roots, that after all, I come from somewhere.
Բարոն Berge Setrakian, հայրենով գուզեմ հետդ մի քիչ խոսիլ, նախ շնորհակալ ենք անգեղձորեն դսել, շատ շնորհակալ ենք բադված գսկանք, որ հարկելու այդ դիդանը Alex Manoogian-ը ցեզիբես երիտասարդ գորով ուժը ունինք, որ այս մտահոգությունը գբարզե մեր ժողովրդին արչև 110 տարի է ավելի բարեգործականը դված է մեր ժողովրդին մարմնական, մտային, հոգեգան սնունդ. Ինչ է որ ժողովուրդը այսօր պետք է գիտակցի բարեգործականի մասին։
Կարևոր է որ ժողովուրդը պետք է գիտակցի թե բարեգործականը ժողովրդին կազմակերպությունն է։ Այսինքն անցյալին ժողովուրդն էր, որ բարեգործականին թիգուկ կգանքներ։ Վերջին տարիներուն ավելի մասամբ ակնկալությունները շատ են բարեգործականին եւ ակնկալությունները իրավունքները շատ են, բայց պետք է նույն ատենալ արդեն լանք որ բարտականություններն արշադեն։ Եթե որ այդիշտ է, շատեր գսեն, որ հայկական բարեգործական դարմենությունը հարուստ գազམ་ակերպություն է եւ զորավոր գազམ-ակերպություն է, բայց ես գիտեմ որ որչաբալ հարուստ է, ասենք որչաբալ զորավոր է, նույնչաբալ աղքատ է, քանի որ գարիկները մեր ժողովուրդի շատ ավելի են քան թե բարեգործականի միջոցները։
Ինչպես գրնասարդահայտվել երիտասարդներու մասնակցության մասին, ինչ կտեսնաս աբական մանավանդ երիտասարդներու վերաբերյալ։
Ես գիտեմ, որ մենք կշարունակենք մեր երասական շարժումներուն դեպի եղած օժանդակությունը դարձավ։ Ես անցամբ երասարդության սևոր հայականության կապվեցա։ Այսինքն փոքր դարիքն է որ կգաբի շատ ավելի ուժեղ գապ մգստել այսօր կամտնուբարը որոնց դուք ցանոթ եք եւ որ 50-ամյակ դոնեցին ասկետ 2-3 տարի առաջ հայրորավոր երասարդներ իրենց եկան եւ բացեցին որ իրենց պատկանելությունը հայության կամտնուբարի միջոցով է այս ուրեմն շատեր կան կամտնուբարով ուրիշներ կան գրտատոշակներով ուրիշներ կան տոպրոցներով Իրանշուշ միայն կամտնուբարը չէ քիչ առաջ ճիշտ է չխոսած կարոր ժամն առաջ խոսի Փարիզի բարեկամի հետ որ զավակ ամուսնագոր ինչպես ասավ զարմալի է ցավ Եվրոպայի զանազան քաղաքները գաբրին կոր բայց մեր ամեն զավակները եղբոր զավակները քրոջ զավակները ամենալ ամուսնությունին բարեգործականի միջոցով հանդիպեցան իրենց
Beautiful
ամուսիններուն կամ դիգիներուն եւ զարմալի գերբով ադան կնդանիքն այսինքն հայկական ոգի մնե որ գշարնակի եւ անշուշտ հարց միան ամուսնություններով պատճառով չէ բայց ընդհանուր հայկական Հայաստանի հետ գաբը Հայաստանի հետ հիմա Հայաստանի մեջ ունենք զանազան ամառային ծրագրեր երիտասարդական internship program երիտասարդական Discover Armenia program երիտասարդական camping program եւ վերջին հաշվով կանի ասկաբերը զորացունենք Հայաստանի երիտասարդներու հետ ինչպես գեմանակ հիմա Դիլիջանի ծրագիրը կամ Թումոյի ծրագիրը այսինքն այսօր մեկ ժողովուրդ ենք եւ կանի մեր երիտասարդները գտնանք իրարու հետ գաբի մեջ բահել եւ ես մեկ բան ցեգրնամ որ փոքր ասք ենք բայց բարեբախտաբար as ընդանուր գլոբալիզացիոնը սվածը որ ամենեն շահավորները փոքր ասկերն են քանի որ այլևս մեծ բեդության հետ գապ չունի եթե կարողություն ունիս եթե ստեղծագործություն ունիս այսօր գրնաց Ղարաբաղեն կամ Հայաստանի հերավոր գյուղերեն ժառակայտը ստեղծել բոլոր աշխարհի մեջ Արտե որ մենք պետք է օգտագործենք եւ պետք է ալդոժեր տնենք որ տեխնոլոգիով մենք գրնանք հասնել եւ մանավանդ ծրվել մեր հարստությունը մեր ասկային հարստությունը
Mr. Berge Setrakian, when you mentioned the youth, one thing that really struck me is that the present-day youth are getting closer to the AGBU as a matter of choice. This is very, very important as opposed to your generation that grew up in Lebanon, where it was not a choice, it was automatically maybe you were just incorporated into the community. But the fact that youth have a choice and they're making the right choice in connecting with the community, and the AGBU is providing them and helping them connect with the community. You know, there's so much we can talk. May I ask you to wrap up your thoughts as we are honoring Alex Manoogian and hopefully looking into a brighter future for the Armenian people?
Yes, I think that my wish and hope is to keep Alex Manoogian's legacy alive as the legacy of our founder Boris Nubar Pasha and our various presidents, Carlos Gulbenkian, Karagosian, Luis Simon. I think that the nation has been privileged to have such giants, people with vision. The most important, besides their philanthropy, besides their energy, they were visionaries and they looked to the future. Like whether it's Boris Nubar during his time or the Alex Manoogian during his time or Carlos Gulbenkian or Karagosian. Even during the worst days of Stalinism in Armenia, they had a vision. They believed in the future of Armenia. They believed that regimes come and go, but they encourage project in Armenia because they consider that a nation without a homeland will not survive too long. And that's what I call visionaries. Who would have thought that they would have one day Armenia would have been independent during their times? And it happened because they were visionaries. And I think that HBU has been blessed by its past leaders, its members, its all those who participated. You know, HBU is not just the president. It's a nation.
Of course.
Thousands and thousands, if not hundreds and thousands, millions of people who contributed to make HBU what it is today.
Bravo. Mr. Berge Setrakian, just last quote of Alex Manoogian said that if I were to be born again, I would like to be born Armenian. And I think that quotation capsules the feeling all the leadership of HBU has. We'd like to thank you again. It has been a great honor, a great joy to talk to you. Thank you for your comments and have a good day.